All right, so welcome back. This is day 2 of the Motivation Challenge, and I cannot wait. Just make sure that you follow the instructions and shared your moment on fire with me and with my team and the whole community. We'd love to hear your moment on fire, so make sure that you did that. And so here on day two, we are going to help you just literally get whatever it is that you want out of your life and out of your business. And I'm going to very briefly just share how this strategy has completely and radically impacted my life, how I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs and other clients leverage this goal setting technique in their lives to not only create inspiration and motivation, but to get what you want out of life. And to me, that's what this A Life on Fire is all about, is being able to get clear and decide what you want and then build a plan to go out and get it. And then when a limiting belief pops up or fear pops up, you leverage the moment on fire strategy and you break right through it. And life is so much fun when you're accomplishing what you set out to do, when you're experiencing joy along the way, you're getting your goals every single month, and you take something like goal setting where we've all had the experience of New Year's resolutions, setting goals, and then completely bailing on them and then feeling discouraged. So we're going to break that old pattern and we're going to make goals cool again, right? I'm going to help you with this strategy, leverage goal setting to get literally anything you want out of life and to be so motivated every single day that you're just relentless, you're unstoppable, and you're creating so much momentum in your life and in your business. So before I dive into the very specific techniques of this goal setting process, I want you to know where it was born from. So again, I've got quite a few personal development mentors. I've traveled all over the country and I've spent a tremendous amount of money to learn how to harness my own mindset to get anything I want out of life. So when I was 28 years old, I had a business that failed, and my mom gave me the book The Secret, and it felt pretty bad for me. I was like $50,000 in debt, and I was like, man, all I wanted to do is just to be happy, to love what I was doing, and I wanted to just be successful in business. So she gives me this book, The Secret. If you haven't read it, definitely read it. It will send you down a path of just enlightenment and learning about how the mind works and how you can attract whatever you want. You can manifest whatever you want in life. And so I take that book, I blow through it in a day, and I just realized that it was my own self-sabotaging negative thoughts that were derailing me, right? Every single business, it was me was the problem. It's not, anyone else but me, right? We have no one else to blame but ourselves, right? So I read that book and I get so inspired that I decided to tattoo a goal in my chest, which was the goal since I was a little kid. My goal was to sell a business by 30 years old. Now, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know what my next business was going to be, but I just said, you know what? I'm going to put faith into the law of attraction. I'm going to put faith in God. I'm going to have faith in myself that I will find a way and I will sell a business by 30, because that was what my goal was ever since I was a little kid. And so what happened is I put the goal in my chest and I wrote it backwards so that I could see it every single day. So what's wild is that's one of the techniques of goal setting, is you want to make sure that your goals are visible so that you can see them every day. Now, you don't have to tattoo yourself like me. That's a little extreme. But the thing is that I'm going to walk you through a process on how to make your goals very public and visible. So from that experience, isn't it crazy that from that experience, I then was at a personal development event and my mentor encouraged me to write a letter to myself. And then the letter to myself was assuming that I had achieved a certain result. So what I did was I wrote a letter to myself, and it painted this vivid picture of what my life would look like, what it would feel like, and how I would be living at 30 years old after I sold the business. So in the letter, I'm talking about the experience and how proud I felt and accomplished, and wow, this is the first time in my life I've had 6 figures in my checking account and what that feels like. And I painted all these pictures of what my life would look like after I've achieved it. And what's cool about that exercise, I'm going to break this down in tangible steps for you, is that what that does is when you do that and you write a letter to yourself and you act as if you've already achieved it, and then you just read it every day, what it's doing is it's actually reframing your subconscious mind, and it's helping you to force yourself to believe that it's actually possible. So even though at the time, I didn't know what I was going to sell. I didn't know what my business was, and I was $50,000 in debt, and I could have had so much negative thoughts that could have destroyed me. I could have just filed bankruptcy and just, kind of put my tail between my legs, but I didn't. I read the letter to myself every single day, and I stayed inspired and I stayed motivated to achieve this dream that I had, right? And you can too. So what's crazy is that if you were to guess the year that I sold my business, it was the same year that was on my chest, because it was hitting the goal by 30 years old. So as I read that letter, isn't it funny that contacts ended up coming into my life, that I ended up getting inspired to go into Facebook marketing and advertising. I built a business in a growth industry. I went to an event, hired a mentor for $5,000, went to an event that a client there was my first 5-figure contract, my first 6-figure contract, and that guy bought my business. But isn't it crazy that all these events came together exactly by the time I was 30 years old, which was the intention that I set and the goal that I set, and I followed a process and it worked. So that was my first huge eye-opening experience about the power of goal setting and manifesting anything that you want out of life. My second was, I went back to the exact same mentor, and he knew what was going on, and him and I are really close best buds now. Because I just was doing everything he said. He loves me for that. I was just taking action. That's what my wish is for you. Take the strategies I'm about to teach you for this next second part on the motivation challenge and just take action on it, just do it. And it's amazing when you just plug in and do it, what'll happen in your life. So I come back to him and I'm like, man, this is crazy. I'm like, I just sold the business. I'm so fired up. And he helped me make the next shifts in my business. And then now he's like, all right, so Unsworth, so now what do you want? You've just gone from literally rags to riches in 2 years. Congratulations. And now what do you want? And I was like, well, I achieved where I wanted to be in business. Now I always want to grow, and that's a whole nother topic, but I achieved the success I was looking for in business. Now I want to find love. And isn't it crazy that the same exercise I'm going to teach you is exactly what I did? It was the same process. I got clear on what I wanted. Right? So I literally wrote out my perfect wife, right? Who I would want to have children with, and every little quality. Dark hair, green eyes, beautiful, into her faith and athletic, and all these little details. I got so clear on what I wanted. And then the next thing was, he asked me, so why don't you have her? And I was like, oh, well, I'm not the kind of guy that goes up to a woman like that and I don't hit on, women or go up and introduce myself. And then he helped me realize that all the things as to the why I didn't have that woman is what was holding me back. So we want to get clear on what we want. Then we want to look at why we don't have it, use the moment on fire technique to clear out those blockages and those beliefs, and then get into action. So the same exact process. I write the letter to myself, and I write how my life would feel. I literally, in the letter to myself, I'm writing about the feeling of waking up in the morning next to the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, about the love and experience that I'm feeling that she loves me more than anyone has ever loved me, and I love her more than, a love that I never even knew I was capable of loving someone at that level. And I, would get like emotional reading this thing every single day. But at the time, I had no prospects. I had been dating and stuff, but I didn't have any prospects. But I wrote that letter, and at this event, I was so convinced that I was going to get engaged in a year, and that I will meet the woman of my dreams because I had the letter. I know the goal setting exercise, and it's worked in business. Why can't it work in my personal life? So I stood in front of hundreds of people at this event, and I said, the next time you see me, I will have met this woman, and I will be engaged. So I'll be back here next year, and I'm holding up my letter, and I'm like, I'll be here next year, and I'll be engaged. Isn't it wild that that event was in October? Fast forward a couple months later into February, and out of the blue, I end up meeting the absolute woman of my dreams, Megan Ann, soon to be Megan Ann Unsworth, and I had the confidence. I had a whole new Nick Unsworth came out where I might be confident in business, but I wasn't confident with women. But because I had the moment on fire exercise dialed in, because I leveraged that letter in the goal setting process, I was a changed man. I was loving myself from the inside out, and I approached her and I was aggressive. I did not let her out of my sight, and I was so persistent to get that date until she finally said yes, and then bam, it was lights out. We met and got engaged within 6 months. And isn't it crazy that every quality that was in that letter, literally, hair color, eye color, down to the little finite details, was what was in that letter. So I share those two stories because I want you to know that these are things that this is truly possible for you. Whatever it is that you truly desire, what your heart desires, whether it be in business, in life, for your kids, no matter what it may be, that you have the power to manifest and to get any goal that you want. And to me, that makes life way more exciting. I love the idea of setting goals and then every month I just get them. Why not? Make a decision, then make it right. So here's the goal setting process. The first thing that you want to do before you ever make any goals is you want to get into state. You never want to plan your future, if you just had a bad day or hunched over at the computer, or like you just got this tax bill or something happened, or your roof just started leaking. You want to get in state. You're planning your future. You're planning out your goals. Get in the right state of mind. Leverage the Moment on Fire exercise. The next thing is I want to encourage you where you can use the letter exercise I'm about to teach, and you can use it on an annual basis. You can use it at whatever time frequency you want. So I do that. I have like an annual letter to myself that I write. But outside of that, I do it monthly, because the power of having monthly goals, it's a short enough amount of time where you can hit your monthly goals, you can get excited, you can create progress. That creates motivation, creates momentum from there. So monthly goals, and I've helped hundreds of my clients and folks in the Life on Fire community build up momentum by using this process, and you can too. So the cool thing is, I want you to just start with monthly goals. So for this month, what I want you to do is to just get clear on exactly what it is that you want. If you're seeing this, this session and you're in the middle of a month, totally cool. Put out your goals for the next 45 days. No big deal. There's no real hard boundaries with this exercise. But what I want you to do is have about 30-day goals, and every single month, when that first day of the month hits, get your goals out. The first day of the month hits, I'm excited about a new opportunity. A new month is a new fresh opportunity to get whatever I want out of life, and you can too. So the first day of the month hits, and you get clear on what you want, and then you want to make sure that you are expressing your goals correctly. So a bad goal would be going to the gym every day this week, right? Or going to the gym every single day. Because the reality is life is going to hit. You could get sick one day, you could be traveling, and you'll be out of integrity if you're not going there every single day. So you want to make sure that your goals are attainable. And I always encourage you to start where set goals that you know that you can hit. Build up that congruency where you hit your goals and then you set goals that are a little bit more challenging the next month. Build that muscle up. I call it getting the reps in. It's like the more that you do this, the better that you're going to get at, the bigger the goals you're going to start to accomplish. So start with goals that are realistic and assume that you will hit them so that you know that you can hit them, because the power of getting your goals is going to really get you into motivation and into momentum, not stretching yourself with a goal that's too big that you never hit it. So know that you can hit your goals. Now, the next thing is when you're choosing your goal, you can pick goals that are going to instantly stretch you. So for example, if I say I want to be like 10 pounds lighter, that is cool and that's a goal, right? But if I instead say sign up for this Fitness Rich online challenge, it's like $25 a month. And if I just committed to that and that's my goal, I know I can hit that goal. Or what if you signed up for a 5K race, or you signed up for a Tough Mudder, right? The act of signing up for something like that will actually propel you, and it will build motivation within you without you having to use willpower and discipline. Because the cool thing is, you know that you've got something coming up, so you're going to get motivated. Can you see what I'm saying? You can see how you can build and force and create that sustainable motivation, as opposed to feeling like you're always trying and trying and trying. So instead of fighting a yo-yo diet to get in shape, it's like, just have the guts and sign up for the race, I always say this, that one of the best things you can do in your business or in your life is enhance your confidence, enhance your communication skills. So the cool thing about that is, how much would your confidence in your communication skills grow if you just signed up for a Toastmasters? You don't have to say you're going to go to Toastmasters, every other week. You just say, this month, I'm just gonna sign up. The cool thing is, if that was your goal and you just signed up for a Toastmasters where you walk into an event and then you learn how to speak publicly, you break through that fear, you'll learn how to communicate with others and with yourself internally, that will create so much growth. You're gonna have all kinds of cool things happen in other areas of your life. So the point is that you can choose goals that are going to instantly create a quantum leap in your motivation and in your in getting what you want. So pick something that you can just sign up for or do. That's a great way to move forward fast. So set your goals, and the next step from there is you then want to take them and you want to print them out. You want them to be visible. So you don't need a tattoo on your chest like I do, but you want them to be visible. Put them, if it's in your bathroom, if it's above your computer at work, if it's at home. If you don't see them, it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So what you want to do is you want to take your goals, you want to print them out, and you want to make them visible. So as an example, here are my goals for the month of May. And these goals I have posted in my room, right in my office. So, every single day I can see the goals. And the thing is that when you make your goals visual, and if you've ever heard of a vision board, it's because you're making what you want visual. And then you can think about it and manifest it every single day. So you want to make your goals visible, put them somewhere that you can see, and then you want to read them every single day, right? So you want to read your goals every single day. And then the other piece is you want to take your goals, and what I do is this is a PowerPoint presentation. Every month I just update them. And then every month I can see the goals from the month before. I can see all the ones that I hit. I can feel good about it. It creates more motivation. And then I just take the goals, I take a screen capture of it, and I post it publicly to Facebook. And the reason why is that when you take what it is that you want, and then you write it down, you print it out, and then you post it up to Facebook, you make your goals real. Instead of the goals just being like a pipe dream, like, if no one knows, maybe I'll hit them, maybe I'll try to hit them, maybe I won't. As soon as those puppies become real and they get posted to Facebook, what happens is that you now get into action and you now have a whole new level of motivation to go out and achieve those goals. So just posting them to Facebook creates public accountability. I learned this where I used to be 213 pounds. I wanted to get down to 175, and I could not figure this out. Like, my weight was impossible for me. I was working out like crazy. I was eating salads and nothing worked. So finally, I went out on Facebook, I set a goal to be 175 pounds, and I put it on Facebook, and I said, if I'm not 175 pounds by August 1st, I will give every one of my Facebook friends $100. Talk about motivation, right? I created so much motivation that I was an animal. I realized and figured out what I needed to do. I completely changed my life. That became a habit, and since then I've been humming around 175 ever since. So the public accountability is a game changer. It makes goal setting fun. You inspire people around you, creates conversations. It's good. So that's the other piece. The last aspect to goal setting, and I call it goals on fire, is just like I shared before. You want to write the letter to yourself as if you've already achieved it. So the letter to yourself, if your goals are for May 1st, right? You make your, let's say, 3 to 5 goals for May 1st. Then you write the letter assuming that it's June 1st, and then you write the letter as if you've already achieved it all. So it's like, here I said, wow, and I'm just so proud that I achieved this, and this goal, and here's what it feels, and here's what it looks like. And when you write the letter, you want it to be vivid, visual. You want to believe it. So that when you read that letter every single morning, that you get those goosebumps up and down your spine, your hair raises, and you just get excited, and that's the feeling of motivation taking your body over. So in my case, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read what my goals are, how I wrote the letter as an example. I'll put these down below so that you can have a look. I'll also have a fast action sheet that will help you get into action and do it. So I just want to encourage you, stay focused, stay committed. This is day 2 of 3 days. You can do anything you want for 3 days. And the cool thing is that this is going to create lasting change in your life and business. So the goals for May. So basically get 151 more people registered for my Ignite events. Help 5 of my clients make an extra 5K this month. Read the Love Dare daily with my beautiful fiance. And this is a book that's really cool. Read the Bible daily. Have an amazing time speaking in the Philippines. I've got a trip coming up to the Philippines. Sign up for the Fitness Rich Challenge. I'm ready to like take my fitness to another level and get in like the best shape of my life. I've got a wedding coming up, you know what I mean? Gotta look my best for that. So I'm just gonna sign up for the challenge. That is gonna force some behaviors, and it's gonna force motivation that I don't have to like try really hard. But because I sign up for this thing, it's gonna create like a domino effect where I'm gonna want to take part of it. I'm gonna have all this accountability. So that's the goals, my May goals on fire right here, posted up in my office, aka bedroom. And then you write a letter to yourself. And the letter to yourself, as I said, as if it's already been achieved. And for me, I put it in my own language, so I might say dude or, you know, what have you in here, but here's my letter. Hey, man, oh man, what an incredible month I just had. As I sit here June 1st and reflect on the month of May, I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about all that I accomplished. First and foremost, it feels so good to see 151 incredible entrepreneurs registered for my Ignite Your Movement event coming up June 18th. All of my hard work totally paid off when I decided to run ads and do a free ticket offer. Every week that went by, Donna and Eric, my team members, and I kept celebrating all of the amazing people that kept registering over and over. The best part is that for each person that registered, they were bringing their friends, and we had hundreds of people that came on board. By May 21st, we totally filled up our room block, and that felt so great. The coolest part of all this is that we achieved this goal when I was out speaking in the Philippines at the Tropical Think Tank event. I even received a standing ovation as I shared my presentation about how to start and build your movement. This trip was the definition of a life on fire. While I was away, the success stories for my business kept rolling in. It started with PJ Dixon having his last day at work ever, and then they kept coming in via email. People kept sharing their success stories. The more that I poured into my clients virtually and at our mastermind, the more results that they were getting. I also feel so accomplished that I did exactly what I said I would do and hit all of my goals. I signed up for the Fitness Rich Challenge. I read the Bible. I read Love Dare every single day, and it filled me up with so much positivity and energy. It feels good knowing that I can literally do anything I put my mind to. I'm proud of you, brother. Ignite is going to be incredible. So that's the letter. So here's the thing. Reading that every day, think of what would happen to your life and business. You wake up in the morning, you read that letter to yourself every single day, and it's filling you up with this motivation and this energy and this just abundance mentality, so that when you hit that roadblock, you hit that fear, you go back to day one, you leverage the moment on fire exercise. And what this is doing, this is not just you consciously saying you want to get the goal. This is way deeper than that. This is going all the way in to your subconscious and reprogramming you for success to hit those goals. So what I want you to do now is look down below this video. We've got my goals, we've got the letter that I wrote. You can just take a look at those, and then I have a fast action sheet. So that gives you just some cliff notes on what to do and how to do it, and then just stay engaged with us. You know, in the Life on Fire group, share your goals, say what's up to us, get involved in us, let us help you create that unstoppable motivation in your life and business, and make sure that you stay tuned for day number 3. It is going to be awesome. So until then, we'll see you soon. Cheers.